Because there's a number of stories sharply on our radar, of course. One of them is unfolding in Boksburg at that human rights conference. We heard from the the Chief Justice, Raymond Zondo, giving his opening address. He's now speaking to the SABC. Let's listen in.
Which changes the public perception of the judiciary. What are your thoughts on the number and what that says about South Africa's judiciary so far and its independence?
The number of what?
Tribunals of investigations against judges in the judiciary.
Oh, okay. Basically, I think, are you talking about investigations upon misconduct? Yeah. No, the complaints that are made against judges are processed. They are not processed as quickly and as expeditiously as we would like, but there's a reason for that. The reason for that is that the Judicial Service Act, which constitutes or establishes the Judicial Conduct Committee, which deals with most of the complaints before they can get to a tribunal, it has got only a few members. I have made recommendations to the Minister of Justice about what amendments should be made to the Judicial Service Commission Act, which will expand the pool so that many judges can be part of the committee. At the moment, the Act does not make provision for additional members of the committee. The proposals that I've made make suggestions that there should be additional members. Almost every judge could be an additional member. Once we get the Act amended along those lines, if the minister agrees and everybody agrees, then there will be a big pool from which to get judges who will deal with these complaints in the first place and deal with tribunals. And then the complaints will be dealt with expeditiously.
In your 27 years on the bench, has that not critically harmed the public perception of the judiciary, which is critical to ensuring that there's trust in that institution and then you strengthen the rule of law in South Africa?
Of course, when there is any complaint of misconduct against a judge, that is not something that we are proud of. But of course, sometimes there's a complaint and there's no merit in the complaint and it is dismissed. Indeed, many get dismissed. If you were to look at the numbers, you would be surprised that most of the complaints against judges are just have no merit. But what one must look at is that while on the one hand, you have a situation where you get concerned if there is a complaint of misconduct against a judge, there is something else to be proud of, namely that we have a transparent system in terms of which complaints by the public against judges are dealt with transparently. Any member of the public can lay a complaint against any judge. They can lay a complaint against the Chief Justice. It's a wonderful process. Nothing is swept under the carpet. So that's a good thing. And that also should add to the public being having a lot of trust in the judiciary, because they will be able to say, if there are no complaints, it means it's fine, because whenever there are complaints, we know what the complaints are, and we know that they will be dealt with. More than anything, if you look at decisions that have been given by tribunals and the Judicial Conduct Committee members, you will see that although this is a situation where judges judge other judges, it's done impartially and properly. Judgments gets given by judges against other judges, and it's accepted. It's fine. That is the system that the people must be happy about, because they will know nothing is swept under the carpet in the judiciary.
And of course, our viewers and citizens are seeing you bid farewell with the work of the State Capture Commission not being fully realized. And we've seen how a lot of these instances or these cases that you saw brought before the Commission are directly linked to human rights, because sometimes they speak to the service delivery failures, and we've seen those cases play out. Now you are exiting or bidding farewell a few years later, not seeing the kind of justice that you would have hoped to have seen. How do you reflect on that? Was the work of the Commission done in vain?
Well, put it this way, no, I wouldn't say at this stage it was in vain, because there are still investigations that are going on. things are not happening as quickly as one would have liked. And maybe some things will never be done, but certain investigations are going on. I had a heads of court meeting on Friday, and one of the judges president was telling me that they've begun to have some state capture cases that are coming in. So I think let's wait. Things are not going as quickly as we would like. But also what we have got to emphasize is that it doesn't help for the police or the NPA to rush to take cases to court when they are not ready. Because then people who are otherwise guilty will go off scot-free. So it is important that the police and the NPA do a proper and thorough job so that when they present cases to the courts, they have investigated them thoroughly and they can be confident that there will be a conviction. But if there isn't, it must not be because they didn't do proper investigations.
However, Chief Justice, you have on a number of occasions lamented the slow pace in which these matters are coming into realization or fruition in holding people to account and securing justice for citizens of South Africa.
No, I accept, and I think people are entitled to complain. But I'll just make one example. When the commission was hearing and there were people who were saying this commission must finish. Why is it taking so long? But I was very, very clear in my own mind that I would not bring the commission's proceedings to an end unless I was satisfied that in terms of what we had done, we had done a proper job. That is why it ended up taking so long. So I feel very free that the commission did a proper job. And we didn't listen to people who were saying, please finalize, because we knew that in the end, that would not serve the people of South Africa properly.
And my last questions, I know Lusanda is looking at me. If you could give yourself a scorecard out of 10 as you exit the judiciary, as well as comment on the recent impeachments of two of your colleagues that you may have worked with in the past from the judiciary. Very sad end to a judicial career, but the first time we've seen an instance like this since the dawn of democracy. The scorecard and then your quick reflections on that.
Well, I won't give myself a scorecard. I will leave that to other people. But it is unfortunate that two of our colleagues have had to be impeached. That is something that one does not wish on anybody. But the law must take its course. The law is the law. If there is misconduct, then there must be accountability.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Justice, for your time. Thank you. That was Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, the head of the judiciary, who did give us a bit of a message there at the Human Rights Conference, refusing to give himself an overall scorecard as the countdown to his retirement is starting to draw closer as it ends in August this year, and we can expect a new Chief Justice then. Of course, he's reflected on issues of the independence of the judiciary, the number of tribunals holding judges to account, and then of course the unfortunate end of two judicial careers through the impeachment vote that we saw that was carried out by the president recently, saying that the law must take its course. Now this conference will continue for the next 3 days, and we expect our colleagues to continue to give you rolling coverage on a number of issues that are discussed under the theme of the state of human rights in South Africa. Over to you, Nastasia, in studio.
Thank you so much, Kenny. That is Canny Maphanga coming to us live from Ekurhuleni.